It probably agree. Lovely. Morning, Wendy.
Morning.
How are you doing?
I'm good, thank you.
Good, 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 good. Thank you for coming back for session 2. So today I'm just actually going to share my screen with you and just I'm just going to position where we are in our program together. Can you see my screen okay?
Yes, just come up.
Right, let me just see if I can make that a bit bigger on my screen because I can't see it very well. Okay, as long as you can see sort of well enough. So we are doing our developmental discovery framework, and we are working through it's coaching, but in the kind of in this structure of helping you to move from a place where you were feeling a bit unsure last time we met, a bit kind of lost, a bit uncertain about where you were going and what was going on, feeling a little bit of demotivation in some areas, weren't you, around
Yes.
particularly around kind of health and work and stuff like that. So we talked quite a lot last time about trying to figure out what was really going on for you and what was at the root of all of that. So
Yeah.
today's session 2, we're going to focus a little bit more on the develop stage, and that really is about working out where are you now? Where do you want to go? That was kind of session 1. And then today's session is about what are those steps that we need to take to build the bridge between where you are and where you want to be. What are the things that we need to upgrade? So there
Yeah.
might be some new skills, but there might be some new mindsets or new ways of thinking about things. And there also might be some things that we need to let go of that are no longer serving you, that actually, you would just feel lighter on your travels if you let go of those things. So we're focusing around development. It is possibly skills, possibly resources, but it's also more of this kind of like, how do you do a bit of an upgrade? So if you think about yourself like you were a mobile phone, there comes a point where you can only add so many apps to the mobile phone before it starts to really slow down and get a bit clunky. And so
Yes.
this is about like having a cleaning up process of your mobile phone, getting rid of the old apps that you don't use, clearing off the old memory stuff that we don't need anymore, so that you can really get all of that energy back in your system and begin to move forwards.
Yeah.
That's kind of where we're at the moment. And then next time, what we think about is how do we actually design that? So once we've done all of this development, what does that enable for us? But how does that sound for today's session, Wendy? Does that make sense?
It does. It sounds wonderful. Natural next step.
Fantastic. So let's just do a little bit. I'm going to stop sharing my screen so I can see you big on my screen again. So tell me a little bit, just to start us off, what were your reflections from the last session when we talked a little bit about what was going on for you, and what kind of things did you pick out as being the really important bits from
Yeah.
last, so we can start to kind of build that bridge?
So I think one of the main things that stuck with me from last time was me saying to you that I felt like I was putting the lid on everything all the time. And I think almost immediately after our last session, that evening I was sitting watching TV, and I just felt the wave of sadness come over me. But I just let it out because I thought I'm not going to put the lid on it and keep it down. So I actually let it out.
Yeah.
Just since then, I feel like I have actually started to come to terms with things.
Wow.
So, yeah, that was the real big takeaway, was just the visualization of like, oh, don't put a lid on it, don't stop it, just let it go, let it, shoot out the bottle if it needs to. That's what it was all about. And and I've kind of done that to myself on quite a few occasions. And then towards the end of last week's session, I also started to think about, because I had that realization about the control thing and how I like to control stuff, and how I'd been doing it with money, but that I also needed to do it with food.
Mm-hmm.
And that's my food thing. But of course, we went away for the weekend because it was my husband's birthday, so we ate crazy for the weekend, and I just still ate crazy. But it's been there in my head, thinking about, right, okay, when you're ready, that's the way to be and the way you need to start. And I'm like, yeah, and I feel like I'm getting ready for it. like
Amazing.
preparing.
Yeah, this is brilliant though. I mean, I love that. There's so many reflections in, you know, being able to just be with what is actually happening. So letting those feelings out, letting things go. And then that sounds like it's been in to let you get a bit more clarity on what you could do in terms of controlling or taking charge of, rather than control. Because I don't know if that, don't know how that lands with you. Maybe it sounds a bit negative, but like taking charge of, or what would be a better
Yeah.
way of saying it rather than controlling? Or maybe that's
Well,
just my.
it's funny because for me, control is the word. I like the
Oh,
word.
it's okay. So for you, that's a positive thing. Okay, bro. Okay, we'll
Yeah,
stick with
I
control.
love it.
For me, I'm like, oh, control. Don't control.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Okay, good. So control is a healthy, positive thing for you.
Yes, it is. Yeah.
Okay. And you say you're getting ready for that. What does that look like? What does that entail?
It means sort of not actually doing any of it.
Yeah, okay. Not doing it, yeah.
Yeah.
Fine.
So, but just getting myself to the point where I think I'm reminding myself of the feelings that I feel, how I feel when I'm doing the right things, when I'm in control.
Yeah.
So I'm like reminding myself of how that feels, so that then it'll be a strong feeling inside me when I do start and I reach the moments where I'm going to struggle, because I
Mm,
know I'm going to struggle.
mm,
So I kind of just, I need to sort of build up that feeling so that it's there and I can remind myself of it really quickly.
mm.
Because at the moment it's still a little bit further back in the, in my back catalogue sort of thing.
Yeah. Okay. So it's in the background,
Yeah.
but it's not quite where you'd ideally like it to be, which would be where. So if it's back here somewhere at the moment, where would you like it to be? Use
Front,
your hands to show me.
yeah, front and
What
center.
front and center.
Yeah, right in front of the brain, so
And
that
where is it right now? Where would you say it is right now?
it's like round the back of my head right now.
And if it's round the back right now,
Yeah.
when do you notice it? Where it is at the back? When does it kind of pop up and sort of make you think about it?
It pops up when I have a bit of time to myself and I'm thinking about things and I'm thinking, okay, so what are you going to do next? That sort of thing. And that's when I think, yeah, remember how that felt, remember what it's like to be in control. And also just the words I said with you, they all like replay through my mind. And then I'm like, yeah, build that because you'll need it in a few weeks.
Hmm. 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 So in a few weeks, that sounds like that's when you think you'll be ready.
Yeah, I think so. I also remember some other words you said at the end of last session, which is remember that this is a process.
Mm.
Because I did think to myself, like, and sometimes I will just go harebrain into things. As soon as I think, because I think I was saying to you before about if I'm not happy, I have a strong feeling that it's down to me to make myself happy. So
Mhm.
I'll do whatever actions I need to make myself feel happy again. So like when Fugs did pass away, I went and got Lando like 2 weeks later,
Mhm.
which was probably too soon,
Mhm.
but I wanted to do something which was going to make me feel happier. And
Mhm.
so I go harebrain into things straight away. Whereas this time I thought to myself, do you know what? No, don't like start right now. Just give yourself time because you've got to let that out first before you're really ready, and just think about this as a process as opposed to a quick solution.
Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? Because some people would be very full on with the doing,
Yeah.
and then they might run out of steam and then kind of collapse and give up. I mean, what would you say? I mean, when you get going, do you keep going? Do you have that kind of keep on pushing through, or does it tend to kind of like come out as a burst and then give up?
Just lately,
Describe the pattern for me.
yeah, just lately I've very much been give it a burst and then drop back,
Yeah,
try again, fall back, try again, fall back.
yeah,
That's the way I've been for the last 12 months.
yeah.
But when I did this before, for some reason, I was able to, when I did the whole weight loss and getting fit thing before, I was able to start, but keep going. And so that's what I really want to do is I want to keep that momentum. And that's why I'm thinking I need this front and center to be there
Mm.
to keep that momentum for me, as opposed to drop, drop.
Yeah. Yeah. So what would help you, do you think, rather than the oof, drop? What would be a better, more, I don't know what the right word would be, but what would help you?
Yeah.
What would be a better way of doing it rather than that big burst of energy and then
Yeah.
dropping off?
I think my mindset is the biggest thing for me,
Mm-hmm.
because if I've not addressed the grief, then that will overtake in my mind, and it will replace that positive feeling and that whole how did I feel when I was in control stuff. It'll just push that aside and replace it, and then I'll just drop back and eat 5 packets of biscuits.
Mm.
So yeah, so that's what I need to do, is the mindset switch on, so it's bringing that thing from the back into the front, so it's there.
Okay, will you do that with me? Should we do a little visualization of that?
Yes.
See if it works. So this kind of approach works really well with some people, but with other people it doesn't work at all. So
Yeah.
if you're up for it, we'll have a go. And
Yeah.
it'll either work or it won't. And if it doesn't, we'll just move on. Okay?
Yeah.
Right. You're always so willing to have a go at stuff. Right. So imagine where it is at the background at the moment. So you've got this kind of like, it's in the background. You can take it out and have a look at it, and it is there, and you can identify what it is that's working and all that type of stuff, but it's still round the back. So what I want you to do is just close your eyes for a minute and just get hold of that thing wherever it is around the back of your head. Just try and hold it with your hands. So
Actually, physically.
yeah, physically
Mm-hmm.
use your hands and try and get hold of it and see if you can hold the edges of it, whatever it is, wherever it is for you. Okay. And then in its own time, don't rush it. Just see if you can begin to move it towards the front. Now, it might want to go around the sides, it might want to go straight over the top of your head, but just see if we can bring it round to the front of you to see if we can have a look at it so it's front and center for a few minutes. Okay, it might resist it because it might be sitting in the background for a reason, which is fine. If it is, we'll listen to it. But just see what you can do with it. Can you kind of move it around anywhere?
I can. It's moving.
Okay, so see if you can bring it round towards the front so you can get a good look at it. But don't rush it. If it's going to take a little while, that's absolutely fine. Now, this all sounds a bit strange, but we're just using our imaginations to help tap into to something slightly different so we can change the mindset around it. It might feel, yeah.
Your hand is moving.
Yeah, so that's great. So just move your hands around until it feels like it can come in front of you somewhere. And how is it feeling? Does it feel like it's heavy? Does it feel like is it solid? Is it like an iron bar, or is it sort of like a loaf of bread, or what do you think it is?
Yeah, it feels like it almost feels like a tennis ball.
Okay.
So it's just like it will roll of its own accord. Just
Okay.
need to give it that little bit of oomph.
Yeah, lovely. Okay, so perfect. Just kind of bring it round. So it's right at the front now. That's interesting, isn't it? Just see if you can just hold it, move it to the front of you so it's in front of your eyes, and just see if you can hold it in your hands.
Yeah.
Okay, so we can move it. This is pretty good. This is a really good start. And just kind of, you can open your eyes for a minute and just have a look at it in your hands and just go, okay, what would it like me to know? If it had a message, had an intention or something that it was trying to let me know about, what is it?
Its message is you can do this because you've done it before.
You've done it before, so you can
Yeah.
do this. Okay, fantastic. So could you just kind of like be curious about why it's hiding around the back and whether it wants to move, like, because we can always put it back, you see. So would it, what's it doing around the back then?
Because it's been pushed there by everything else.
Okay, yeah.
Because it lived at the front for a long time, but it got pushed there by everything, pushed backwards by everything else.
Yeah, exactly. So would it be ready to change, or would it actually be safer back where it is, around the back there? Would it, is now the right time to be thinking about this?
I think it feels like it's kind of happier about here at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
It's like it's halfway. It's halfway on its journey.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
It has come round.
Okay, so this is great, right? So it can move and it can get to the side where you can sort of, can you see it from where it is on the side?
Yeah, it's in my peripheral.
Yeah, so it's there. It's there. What do you think it's waiting for? What does it need before it can be front and center?
It just needs that little bit. It needs that little bit more strength.
Okay.
That's coming with, like, the grief is being pushed out,
Yeah.
and it just needs a little bit more strength for
Okay.
that.
Yeah. Yeah.
The grief's
Now,
on the side. Yeah.
so it's there and it's telling us loud and clear that it's not ready yet to
Yeah.
be front and center. It's got some stuff that it needs for you to do.
Yeah.
What do you, Wendy, need to do to help this just be okay with being here?
For it to be happy being where it is at the moment, I think what it needs from me is it just needs me to let it move at its own slow pace. It doesn't want me to rush it around the front, because then it'll rush around the back again.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it'll rush back. Yeah.
Yeah. I think that, actually thinking about that, that's the vision. That's almost the visualization of me with the big burst of power that brings it here for 5 seconds. Yeah. And then suddenly the grief just pushes it back and it goes back around there. And it's like, so it just needs me to allow it to move. It's almost like it'll fool the grief, like the grief won't even realize that it's coming round and that it's pushed it out of the way, and then it'll just be there, like taking over from it. Whereas before, when I've been a bit too forceful with it and tried to make it move around there too quick,
like,
it catapults. Yeah, it then like shoots back.
So interesting. So what would you say? So if this is, I mean, what are we calling this? Is this control, this tentacle that's on one side at the moment? What would grief be like? Where is that sitting? Could be anywhere.
All the rest of the space.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or it has been. It has been all the rest of the space up till now. But I have found in the last week that work has started to put its little wedge back in.
Ooh, okay.
And so that's good, because I needed that wedge to come back.
Yeah.
And it's really diminished the power of, because to me the grief feels like a black cloud that's like, it was filling up the whole space, but now it's shrunk a bit. Yeah. And that's allowing the other things to.
Is that black cloud here right now?
It is, but it's like a.
Because what I want to make sure is that we're not doing this. I don't want you to push it down, okay? So if it appears, let it be here.
Let it come out. But no, I'm not fit. It's like it's a soft grey, as opposed to like the real black clouds you get. Yeah. It's more of a soft grey that says it could rain, but it might not.
Okay. Yeah. Sounds British.
Yeah.
Okay.
very similar.
Right. So we've got our tennis ball of control, and it's on
Yeah,
the one side at the moment, and we've got grief, which is taking up all the other space,
yeah,
and it's a bit of a grey cloud,
yeah.
kind of not as dark as it was, kind of
No,
grey. What's work? Tell me more about the work piece. Where is that? How big or what kind of shape is it? Another tennis ball or is it something a bit different?
no, it's like a wedge of like cheese.
Okay, a wedge of cheese. Where
Yeah,
is it? Where would you put it?
I put it sort of so it's because it's just returning. It's almost like it's round the back, but it's the top point of it is sort of going into the front of my head now. So it's
Okay,
like, yeah, it's like a wedge of cheese sitting on the top of my head.
okay. And how does that feel there? I mean, it's good that it's back. I'm hearing a
Yeah,
kind of positivity that it's back. Is that where you want it to be? Does that also want to come towards the front, or what do you feel like its movement is? Where's it going?
I think it's going to, if it's going to, yeah, the way it feels like it's going at the moment is going to expand. So it becomes like a bigger wedge.
Okay.
But what I quite like about, actually, what's quite right about me as a person is that I don't let work rule my life.
Mm.
So the fact that the narrowest point of it is at the front is like quite a good symbol.
Yeah.
Whereas it will still take up quite a lot of space with the wide bit at the back. And it's like it's got its rightful place,
Mm.
but it doesn't affect too much of the main thing of life,
Yeah.
you know? So yeah, there's
Okay.
plenty of room for the tennis ball at the front.
Okay. Okay. So this is good. So that work
Uh,
is there. It feels like it's kind of taking some space, but not too much. It's
yeah,
in the right place, the right kind of proportion, or it's
yeah,
heading for that. So the tennis ball, which is this control, is it specifically around the food thing, or is it all of the control? Because we talked a bit about money and stuff last
uh,
week. Is it everything in the tennis ball, or is that the food thing?
it's um, it's actually everything. It's all the bits of control that I like. So I like to control money. I like to control my food. And I just like to also have a sense of control about my exercise and the housework and all those things. I don't like to be a slob,
Mm.
you know.
Mm.
So I do like to have control on them all.
Mhm, mhm. So it's here at the moment, and
Yeah,
there's a lot in it. So it isn't just the one thing, it's actually representing lots of it. So the
yeah,
reason I was asking about, is it just one thing, that could be quite stuck and other things would want to move, or it's control of everything.
yeah,
I'm wondering now if the work thing is there, you've got the kind of grief cloud over here, and you've got your tennis ball of control.
yeah.
There anything else that's kind of taking up mental space? Anything else that's kind of weighing in on that kind of scene?
I don't think there is really. I
Mm,
think those are those are the three things in my life.
mm, mhm,
So, and I think if I have the right proportions of those three things, then I will be happy.
mm, mhm.
So
So, so what would the right proportions look like? How would that be different from what you've got right now?
yeah, so I think if the control and the grief swapped sizes, so like at the moment the grief feels like the biggest thing, and the control in a way is the smallest thing because the wedge of cheese is bigger. Um, if the grief and the control swapped places and I had that much control and that much grief, then I'd
Mm,
be happy because
mm,
I know this will never leave. So it's like I always expect that to live there, that little cloud.
mm.
But if I'm bigger here, I will be happier and this won't hurt as much.
Okay, so just again, close your eyes and
Yeah,
hold both of those hands where they are. So you've got the ball on one side and you've got
yeah,
the cloud on the other. So for me, that's this
yeah,
face. You're the other way around to me. So we're mirrored. So that's
yeah.
fine. so I don't confuse you. And just see, all I want you to do is see if they can change proportions. It might be that where they are right now is exactly where they need to be, and there is nothing to change. But what I want you to see is if you have the ability, or if they are willing to consider a possibility that they could change.
It's really funny because my fingers have suddenly just felt really stiff.
Ooh, okay.
Like I couldn't change them if I wanted to.
So that is a pretty clear sign, I would
Yeah.
say, from your body to your brain. We need to be here for a while.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that when you think about being stuck here for a little while, or not even stuck, but that this is helpful for a while? How does
Yeah.
that feel for you?
It doesn't feel too bad because I recognize it and I know what it is, whereas
Mm,
before I didn't know what it was.
mm,
And
mm,
now I know that that's that and that's that.
mm, mm.
And yeah, it feels, yeah, it's quite funny. It's quite a funny feeling just how tight they went for a moment. Could be old age.
Your fingers get cold. Okay, so what I want you to do now is so this is where we are right now, and
Yeah,
for whatever reason your system needs it to stay like this for a while, because this feels like it's the right thing to do, it's safe, or it's something helpful in this.
yeah,
I want you to just kind of imagine yourself timeline jumping a little bit. Go down the road a few weeks or a few months. You choose where. Could
yeah,
be next week, could be 6 weeks, could be 6 months, could be 6 years. Go somewhere that feels natural, and just describe how things might be different.
yeah. So I think in my head, I'm thinking 6 months, and I'm thinking that will be the grief, and that will be the control.
Okay.
Yeah, 6 months just sits right, feels right.
And just out of interest, if 6 months away feels like this,
Yeah,
see if that grief changes ever from that position in 6 months' time. Does it? Because we've talked about this before, haven't we? About it's kind of like it's something that's going to be there forever because it's love. Grief
yeah,
and love are the same. They're part of the yin yang thing, aren't they? They're
yeah,
part of the same thing. So is that the new normal? 6 years down the line, 6 months down the line, is that the right amount?
I think it is. I think it's, yeah, I think it'll
Mm,
always be there. I do worry though, because I have this like inbuilt worry now because I think about how I reacted to thugs, and then I think, oh, my parents are getting older, and like, oh my god, what happens when something happens to one of them? And oh,
mm,
so yeah, so I need to build my arsenal about how I'm gonna handle that, because I can just see that exploding. So
yeah,
yeah,
yeah. And what have you learnt about this experience of grief with thugs that would help
yeah,
you in that situation with your parents or other loved ones?
yeah.
Do you think might be useful to remember?
I don't know. I think it's probably that whole, well, what I'm doing now is I'm making sure that I won't feel any guilt about anything. So every time I think to give them a call, or go and see them, or make plans to visit and all that sort of stuff, I think, yes, just do it,
Mm,
because otherwise you will feel guilt.
mm,
So it's like, yeah, don't have that guilt, because that's
mm,
probably the worst thing.
mm,
And that's what we kind of confronted last week, and that's why I think I feel better this week,
mm,
because that's the conversation I needed to have.
mm,
Yeah.
mm,
So yeah, and I think that if anything, if it's taught me anything, it's don't waste anything. Don't waste time. Don't waste the opportunity to do something, so that you don't feel like that afterwards.
yeah. That's an incredibly powerful lesson.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a good one though, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah, it is. So this feels right. This grief and love
Yeah.
over here somewhere feels like that's going to be it's going to be something that you're going to live with,
Yeah.
and it might change. Of course, things will bring that to the front, and sometimes it
Yeah.
will be further back, and that kind of thing. What about the control thing? Is there anything in that side of things where you feel like in 6 weeks, 6 months, 6 years, things might be different with that, or does that feel like that's quite static?
I think if I can keep that, if I can keep that at that size that I'm hoping it'll be in 6 months, then that's my aim, is to keep it that size, because my fear on that is that it will shrink, that it will start to shrink, and it will go back to just being this little ball that can actually be pushed out by other things.
Mm.
Whereas if I can keep it as the majority, then I'll be happy.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that'll be the challenge with that one, is making sure that it doesn't shrink.
Yeah. What do you think makes it shrink? When this gets too big, or is there other stuff?
Yeah, yeah. I think it could get shrunk by work becoming too big again, taking up too much space in my life, which I don't think it will, which is a real positive, because the company I work for is so lovely, and I just don't think it'll, yeah, it'll get to the point where it takes over my life again like it has before. Um, but yeah, and also my other sort of vision for this, even if it does shrink down, is I'd like it to be pink, because then it would be the love. The love would be more powerful than the grief. So yeah, because when that whole thing about it being love and grief, which is what it will be, is the color. It needs to transition from the grey color to the pink color, and then it will be like, yeah, looking back fondly as opposed to sadly.
Yeah. Yeah. Just let it come. Let it come.
Yeah.
Don't push it down. Just be
That was,
with it.
you could tell.
Just let it come.
Yeah,
All that love and all that sadness.
it is.
Just breathe.
It's nice. Oh. We love them so much. I must admit, I looked at Lando. He was sitting on my lap last night, and I thought, "Oh God, what happens when 14 years comes round again?" And you just think, "Oh, you light yourself up for it almost." But it's better to have loved and lost than never to have loved at all.
Mm. Yeah. It's easy somehow to say those words, but feeling that
Yeah,
is harder somehow.
yeah, it really is. Yeah,
Yeah. But I really like what you're describing about that shift from into the kind of pink, that change, like it can adjust and
yeah,
become love. And yeah, I think giving space for that to be whatever it is, to change whenever it needs to change, that
yeah.
feels important.
I've got a really clear visual of it. It's funny. At the moment, it does just look like that grey cloud. It's just the fluffy edges. But yeah, it's almost like it can. And if I think about how it's been in the previous like 6 months,
Mm.
it's been like a cloud with bloody lightning going on inside it and all that sort of jazz.
Mm.
Whereas like now it's gone to a softer grey, and it's just that little bit small, not as angry a cloud. And yeah, and if one day it could be a pink cloud, that would be even better.
Yeah.
Pink.
Yeah, and there's no timeline on that, and
No,
it might change backwards and forwards even in the space of a few minutes.
yeah,
So it's almost like letting that bit. I'm wondering if like we can move it away from here and put it in you somewhere.
yeah,
The pink, I mean the pink cloud, the kind of,
yeah,
I don't know if it wants to move anywhere or if it's fine where it is, but it's like it's kind of like accepting something is part of us.
yeah.
Feel when I say that.
I do. I think that, yeah, I think when it's pink, it will need more space,
Mm.
or I'd like it to have more space because I'd like it to have more capacity for itself. But while it's grey, I like to keep it small.
Mm.
And yeah, so yeah, if there is that ability to give it a little move around,
Mm.
but also I'd need a bit of it up here just to keep its influence on the brain. That's what they're all
What
doing.
is it? What is its influence? What's it doing?
It's putting the positive on everything,
Mm.
because I try to be a positive person and always look for the positives in everything, but I've struggled while it's been grey. Whereas when it's pink, it's, yeah, it makes the brain pink and it makes it rose tinted almost.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why I picked pink.
Mm.
Yeah, it's that lens on it.
Mm. Yeah. Somehow that feels a bit better for me. I mean, you tell me how's that feeling for you? I kind
It
of
does.
get that sense that it's a bit more okay.
Yeah.
What
Oh,
what are you experiencing?
yeah. No, it's lovely. It's nice to have in my mind, because I am naturally a planner. It's nice to have an idea in my mind that that's what I'm trying to get to.
Yeah.
That, actually, because otherwise you just get stuck in that situation, that moment, and you just think that there's no way out. Whereas if you actually visualize it and plan
Mm.
it and think, right, okay, yes, I'm doing things now to get me to that point, as opposed to like thinking I've got to be there. I
Mm.
used to do it before. I used to think, oh, I wish I could go sleep at night and then wake up a size 12. You know? But that doesn't happen. That just really doesn't happen. What you've got to do is you've got to get yourself to the size 12, because miracles like that will never come.
It's just, yeah, trusting the process
Yeah.
again. It's doing the process. So what would be the process? And it's quite interesting if you think about that whole thing about control and where you want to be, you can sort of get a sense of where things could be. If the control piece isn't ready to come front and center yet, because
Yeah.
this is still a bit too grey, what is it ready to do, or what could you do that when it's ready it can come to the front, but now is not the
Yeah.
time? What could you do at the moment?
Strengthen it up. And I think
What does that look like?
the strengthening it up is that whole, just that reiteration in my mind of what it feels like and how it shows itself to me when it's there.
Mm.
So it's like, yeah, reinforce that thought all the time of how it feels and what it looks like. And then it as I do that, it gradually, it's like muscle memory, isn't it? Like, it's like lifting weights. You start and the first one really hurts, and then as you get heavier and heavier, you get stronger and stronger. So it's like reinforce, reinforce, reinforce.
Lovely.
Yeah.
So what's the what would be the equivalent of a little weight, a starting beginner's weight? What would be beginner's weight? What would that look like?
That's me thinking about the whole how I think about money. So that getting round and or getting to the end of the week and realizing I haven't spent any money, which is a lovely feeling. And it's like just how I can get to the end of the day and like have eaten just nutritious food and good food, and not eating any crap that day.
Mhm.
So that's the sort of, yeah,
Mhm.
two comparisons.
Would that be a starting weight, or would that be a medium weight? I'm wondering if there's anything smaller.
Yeah. I think probably the biggest thing that I need to do is I need to start logging my food again
Okay.
on an app so that I actually am in control of what it is that I'm eating. But again, I don't know if that's one of the more heavier weights because it's such a powerful thing to do.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, what would be
If
one?
you're questioning if it's a heavier weight, it
Yeah,
probably is a heavier weight. So
yeah,
it'd be smaller than that. What would be just the tiniest baby step? The one of those weights that when you pick it up, you're like, nah, doesn't make any difference. I can do it easy peasy. But 100 reps of it might hurt a little bit.
yeah.
What's that kind of weight?
Drinking my squash.
Drinking your squash.
Yeah,
Okay, tell me what that looks like. How much? What's your aim? What do you want to do with it?
2 litres minimum a day.
Okay.
So yeah.
And how does that feel like that's a doable weight?
Oh, very much. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That's one of those little wrist weights that you don't really have to, you could just walk around and do that every day.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that feels like pretty minimal effort. And
Yeah.
how would you feel if you did get to the end of every day, or if you got to the end of the week and went, same as you do with money,
Yeah.
I drank enough this week. I
Yeah.
drank enough every day this week. How would that feel? Just bring that to life for me.
I always feel really chuffed. I feel really chuffed at the end of each day if I think, oh, I hit my 2 litres today. Well done. And I know that I actually feel better for it.
Mm.
You know, it's like I haven't really had a hangover for about 5 years now. And the reason being is because every day I drink at least 2 litres of fluid. So I'm never dehydrated.
Brilliant. Yeah.
And like, yeah, that's really good.
So how do you feel about committing to doing that? Would that be a good thing to aim to achieve each week?
Yeah. So that's the real baby step. Yeah. If I don't achieve that, then I'm like, yeah.
So that's sitting here, that's in the control thing.
Yeah.
That's one thing. You've got great control over the money. You've got this one thing that you're going to add that's going to help you
Yeah.
on the food and health front. How do you feel about doing that in the control bit? Is that okay? Does that feel like it's too much? Is it making it uncomfortable, or is that good control?
No, it feels really good. It's like a real positive, but in a way, it feels like a little bit too easy.
Oh, too easy.
But
Okay.
yeah, but this is where I don't want to do that thing again where I go shooting in and then fall right back.
Yeah, because we know if we go shooting in,
Yeah.
it's only going to end up in one place, which is all of this still needs attention, and you can't do it all.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, so if this was what we did, so when we meet next time next week,
Yeah.
we could have a conversation about how that's been, and
Yeah.
then we can see if we could add something. How does that feel?
That feels really good.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, Wendy, just to summarize as we're coming to the end of our
Yeah.
time, what are the kind of key things that have landed for you today? What's resonated?
The main things are the visualization, and like that's really really good for me because I love to visualize things all the time. So I just have this idea now about my tennis balls here. I'm going to let it move at its own little pace round to here, and yeah, just I've got the cheese and then I got the cloud, and
Yeah.
hopefully the cloud is just gonna like start to become a little less grey again by next week. So yeah, that's I'm gonna have that picture, probably gonna draw it on a big post-it note and put it on my wall.
I love that. Yeah, I love that. What a great idea. Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll check in with what's the weather like next week in the cloud. How are we
Yeah.
doing? Is it grey today? Is it a little bit brighter? And I guess what's the process of a cloud going from dark grey to lighter grey? It's rain, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, I suppose it
What
is.
does that what
Yeah.
does that mean?
Yeah.
Mm.
Interesting. Yeah.
Brilliant, Wendy. Thank you so much for your time again today. And
Thank you.
I'll pause the recording and we'll just